What is up, guys? ASMR Cacus here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And today, I reached the maximum season rank 100 without doing any bounty farming or abusing the extra XP repeatable bounties. So I'm going to be talking about the best ways to gain experience, the best ways to level up your season's pass, and if it's actually worth it. And so let's get started. So first things first, just to explain in further detail what I said earlier, yeah, I've just been playing the game pretty much normally. I have not gone out of my way to specifically farm bounties over and over and over again, unless they were for a powerful drop. Also, again, I did not really take part in the insane experience gains when the repeatable bounties were glitched, aside from literally one moon run to see if they were really acting up, and then Bungie disabled it as soon as I was done that run. That means I'm not going to sit here and give advice for things you guys can't even do anymore. Instead, let's talk about the way that really rivals moon bounty farming. And just to explain that further, because there's a lot of new players watching, and moon bounty farming is something you're going to hear all the time. It is generally thought of as the best way to farm experience, because you can head to the moon, talk to Eris Morn, and pick up all of her repeatable bounties. And those bounties are going to be pretty simplistic general things. You're going to see the same things over and over again. Get void kills, get SMG kills, get melee kills, etc. And especially if you're on Titan and you're on the bottom tree striker, that can chain arc melee kills like crazy. So if you have arc kills, just start meleeing everything. If you have melee kills as a bounty, just start meleeing everything. Carry around an SMG and a hand cannon and an auto rifle, and you'll pretty much be covered for any bounty you can get. Head to the K1 Communion Lost Sector, and you can complete all 5 of those repeatable bounties in, a couple minutes or less. Hand them all in, pick up more, keep going. So again, if you want to target farm experience, that is thought of as the best way. However, now, and only very recently actually, with the introduction of the Season of the Hunt Wraithborn Hunts event, that's, in my opinion, kind of shifted. Because if we take a look at the Wraithborn Hunt bounties, the bounties given out by Crow, as you can see, these are general bounties. It's like, go and kill Fallen, get kills with sniper rifles, kill enemies with primary weapons, extremely simplistic and again, general things. In fact, these are kind of most comparable to the gunsmith bounties, which again are generalized bounties that you can get no matter what activity you're doing as long as you're using a specific weapon. And those are actually very, very good for increasing your experience gains, because as you can imagine, if I'm playing a strike, not only can I pick up all of the strike bounties, which are going to give me experience when I complete them, I can also get the gunsmith bounties that I can do at the same time I'm doing that strike, and now I can also pick up the Crow bounties and complete those as well when doing that same strike. So I can be completing 3 entire sets of bounties at the same time. I can come out of a strike with 10 completed bounties or more potentially. And if that wasn't enough, I can also potentially combine those with Varric's bounties. He has a bunch of bounties that have to do with doing, again, pretty general things, with the one caveat being you have to do them on Europa. But that would presumably mean if I do the Europa strike, I can be completing all 4 sets of those bounties at the same time. But to be honest, I don't think you need to get that specific as to farm the Europa strike over and over again. You certainly can if you want just incredible amounts of bounties to be complete, but it works in other ways. If you're doing an Empire hunt, you can be completing, of course, the Europa bounties and the Gunsmith bounties and the Crow bounties at the same time. So I think the key to getting experience gains fast and efficiently within Beyond Light is not target farming the moon, but rather is to be consistently grabbing all of these generalized bounties from these different vendors so you can just be completing an insane amount of bounties for doing just one activity. It also doesn't hurt that you've actually got a 2% boost over what you had in previous seasons, because with your ghost and now the ability to customize it, you can actually put on a 12% experience gains, a mod on your ghost, which I absolutely would recommend doing, at least until you reach season rank 100, as opposed to before it capped out at 10%. But my last tip is, remember to, when you accumulate all these bounties, don't just hand them in willy-nilly. Make sure that you're joining someone so you can get that shared wisdom experience buff, and then turn in like 20 bounties at once. And yeah, it's only a few percent more, but that few percent stacks with Guiding Light and stacks with all these other things, and it's really going to matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, at the end of the day, you can gain a few extra levels just by joining teammates and then popping bounties. Alright, now that's all well and good, but the next question is, is this worth it? Is it worth specifically going after a lot of experience? Is it worth getting to season rank 100? And interestingly, this season, not really. In fact, this is one of the most empty seasons passes in terms of actually getting viable gear and things you want for the game that we've seen in a while. And the reason being isn't because there's less stuff than normal, right? Like, if we look at the season's pass, if we look at the end, it's got the usual set of cosmetics, it's got some exotic engrams, it's got pretty much the standard things, but kind of how things have changed in Beyond Light have greatly affected the usefulness of the season's pass. And here's what I mean by that. Firstly, exotic engrams, right? Used to be pretty useful. If you didn't have some of the new exotics, getting a new exotic engram basically guaranteed those new exotics to drop, right? But now, with Beyond Light, those exotic engrams are not going to give you any of the new exotic armor pieces, and all of the exotic weapons are acquirable through quests, so those exotic engrams have gone down in value quite a bit. Unless, of course, you're a newer player who doesn't have a lot of the old armor, they're still pretty useful. But in addition to that, usually there's kind of a mad dash to the around 70-ish rank, because as you can see, level 71, you start to enable the possibility of getting the Seasons Pass weapons as random drops in Gambit, Crucible, Strikes. You get more options as you continue to level up. And back in the day, like getting the Trophy Hunter, for example, God Roll as quickly as possible, that did matter. But now, as soon as Wraithborn hunts came out, you can actually target farm the 2 new Seasons Pass weapons in Wraithborn hunts. So why would I get to level 70 to get like a small chance of one of these dropping from the Crucible or Gambit or whatever, when I could just use Wraithborn hunts to farm them way more efficiently? We usually do see something akin to Wraithborn hunts, but it's near the end of the season, right? As kind of a catch-up mechanic. So it still is valuable to get these weapons, God rolls, pretty early, but now that's really not the case. So getting to that level 70 like mad dash, that just doesn't matter anymore. And so while I would still recommend doing the method of making sure to grab all those generalistic bounties as often as possible and be completing them simply to level up your artifact power level, because that can matter in doing higher level content, you really don't have to stress the Seasons Pass for this season. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.